So just getting through them. Ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt, ancient Egypt. So. Put your phone down and close your eyes. Fall asleep, fall asleep, fall asleep, fall asleep. Relax, 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 relax. Hang out. Two incredible facts about ancient Egypt. The ancient Egyptian civilization spanned more than 3,000 years. We might look at ancient Egypt as a quick snapshot in time. King Tut only ruled for 10 years after all. But the world's earliest civilization actually spanned more than 3,000 years, from 3,150 BC to 641 AD. I feel like I've read a fact before for this channel about how Cleopatra's life is closer to present day than when the pyramids were built, because she ruled, I guess, late in the Egyptian civilization's lifespan. But yeah, 3,000 years, that's a long time. Thinking about like the US, that began in 1776. We're not gonna make it 3,000 years. King Tut was only 9 years old when he became the ruler of ancient Egypt. Tutankhamun, otherwise known as King Tut, is often regarded as one of the best well-known pharaohs in all ancient Egypt. As such, it is fair to picture the young ruler as a man, but King Tut took the throne when he was just 9 years old and died only a decade later. Related to ancient Egypt, I saw an opera the other weekend with my dad, who loves the opera. We saw the Philip Glass opera Akhenaten, which was inspired by Akhenaten the Pharaoh. And I don't know if this was historically accurate or not, but when they, spoiler alert, throned the next king after Akhenaten died, he was credited as being King Tut. But I don't know if he came after Akhenaten or not, but I just thought that was interesting. The opera was cool, regardless if it was historically accurate or not. I mean, it was an opera. I'm sure it took creative liberties. Okay, back to the facts. Cleopatra was actually not Egyptian by blood. Cleopatra might be another notorious ancient Egyptian, but the symbol of the ancient civilization wasn't Egyptian by blood. Rather, she was born in Greece to a Macedonian Greek general that case, it would be nice to marry, like, somebody who was royal in another civilization. King Tut had 2 children, but both died as infants. Hoof, King Tut and his half-sister, Aghasbatan, had 2 daughters together, neither which survived infancy, which researchers believe was due to a long lineage of inbreeding. As such, King Tut's death marked the end of his family's rule. Wow, more King Tut facts. And this article is kind of a random website, so as always, take these facts as they are. It's thought that King Tut suffered from scoliosis and other diseases. Although King Tut was often depicted as strong and healthy, researchers suggest that the young pharaoh suffered from a myriad of diseases that would have seriously affected his mobility, including scoliosis, bone necrosis, and clubfoot. Okay, I'm going to say this back on this side. Ancient Egyptian women and men were treated equally. Ancient Egypt's society was much more advanced in terms of rights for women. In fact, women in ancient Egypt were treated much better than other women in comparable societies. Although most rulers and prominent society members were men, ancient Egyptian women could own property and were legally equal to men in court. Okay, next fact in this here. The pyramids of Giza were naturally temperature controlled, or are naturally temperature controlled. Although the city of Cairo sees temperatures of up to 95 degrees Fahrenheit come summertime. That's kind of what it feels like in New York right now, 95 degrees. I don't think it's that hot though. The interior of the pyramids of Giza are naturally temperature controlled. The interior temperature of the pyramids is a constant 86 degrees, no matter how hot or cold the weather is outside. I wonder how that was possible. Both men and women wore makeup regularly. While men and women in ancient Egyptian both wore makeup regularly, it wasn't necessarily for aesthetic purposes. Wearing dark makeup around the eyes is widely considered to have been an easy way to shield and protect their eyes from the bright sun. The dark pigment helped to deflect the glare. That's cool. That is cool. Beer was regularly consumed in ancient Egypt. Beer had been regularly consumed in ancient Egypt in both wealthy and poor households. In fact, men, women, and children all drank beer regularly, as it was considered to be a great source of nutrition. The ancient beverage was also used as a form of payment for labor in certain parts of society. I wonder if it was like Khafre and the pyramid of Menkaure. Actually, I'm not familiar with those last three. But in fact, Egyptologists have discovered more than 130 distinct pyramids across the country. I think they're saying that the pyramids of Giza are made up of those three pyramids. Yeah, that's what they're saying. Yeah, I still want to know how they were built. It's crazy, they're like imperfect geometry. Okay, and then so the pyramid of Khufu at Giza is the second largest in the world. Sure, pyramids might not be unique to the ancient Egyptian civilization, but they are certainly built some of the most notorious structures in the world. Pyramid of Khufu, otherwise known as the Great Pyramid, is the second largest in the world, second only to it's a pyramid in Mexico. It's an ancient pyramid in Mexico. Quetzalcoatl Pyramid. Wait, I'm surprised that there's a pyramid bigger than that. I am surprised. I'm sure it's like, I don't know actually, because I don't know the time period when all of these pyramids were built. I was gonna say, I'm sure that the Great Pyramid may have been like the largest structure in the world for like, many years. The hieroglyphic alphabet consisted of more than 1,000 unique hieroglyphics. Considered to be one of the earliest forms of written communication, hieroglyphics were the formal writing system used by the ancient Egyptian society. The logographic and alphabetic writing system includes more than 1,000 distinct characters, including print and cursive symbols. Cats were considered to be sacred animals. Ancient Egyptians were known to keep several different animals as pets and even worshipped certain species. Dogs, for example, were valued for their ability to hunt and protect their owners, but cats were believed to be quite literally magical creatures and were even considered to bring their families good luck. I'm trying to think where the last museum I went to, it must have been the Met, but I don't know, was it the Met? Yeah, it must have been the Met. I went to the Met and saw, you go straight to the Egyptian section. That one's the coolest. They have mummies there, which is really cool. And then I remember they had mummified animals, cats, birds, like ibis is that type of bird, ibises. But yeah, cats, I love the fact that they were magical. And then you see that TikTok trend or whatever, I think it's old now, but it's like, play this for your cat and see if they remember their like ancient Egyptian rituals, roots. I want a lucky cat as a pet. Many of the items we use today were invented in ancient Egypt. You might assume that certain items like pens, papers, airwax, or toothpaste are modern-day inventions, but you'd be wrong. The ancient Egyptians actually invented a lot of things that we still use to this day, ranging Removing a body was no small feat and required special priests to remove all moisture from the body, including organs, before treating the body with a drying property. The most time-consuming process, though, was actually the wrapping of the mummy, which took about a mile's worth of bandages. Ancient Egypt is responsible for the world's earliest peace treaties, one of the world's earliest peace treaties. The earliest surviving peace treaty was originally written in 1271 BC by Egyptian pharaoh Ramses II, Ramses the Great, as well as Hattusilis III, king of Hittites. The Egyptian-Hittite peace treaty didn't actually bring about peace, though the Egyptian-Hittite conflict continued for several more years. At least they tried. The ancient Egyptians were very into board games. Oh, that's so fun. The ancient Egyptians were considered to be very competitive, even down to their pastimes. Their society